Welcome to Dare to Be Seen, episode 8. This interview series features mystics, channels, and seers who have overcome their ancestral visibility blocks to claim a presence, to claim themselves and give themselves permission to be all that they came here to be. Women who are a permission slip for others and are now leading incredible global brands and communities. In this interview series, we asked them about their experience about healing ancestral programming such as witch wound and other separation programming as we know within our collective of light workers with a mission in our soul, visibility for every other entrepreneur versus for the multidimensional woman that has had multiple incarnations on earth is not the exact same. Every time we do the deep work on our DNA, work on our ancestral programming, on the imprints we hold, to free ourselves from the illusion of separation, and we step into the unified field, into choosing love as our guiding force, we are doing collective work. We are doing work that transcends our individuality and allows other light workers with a mission and other incredible beings to also claim what they came here to do and their missions at a whole other level. I want to share with you, before we bring our guest for today, which I'm very excited about, that this interview series is brought to you by Born to Be Seen. And Born to Be Seen is an advanced quantum healing and soul mission oracular experience to collapse ancestral timelines and access even higher levels of divine visibility with your channeled work. It is 3 days where on day 1, you're going to experience a profound activation and ancestral bloodlines clearing. And you will also be part of collective grid work for the mission souls, light workers on a mission, starbeings on earth. We have people from all over the world joining already, and it starts on the 17th of June. So you can go and sign up through the link in my bio. On day 2, we're going to have an integration circle where you are going to be able to come off mute, share your experience, and also ask questions or guidance. It's going to be extraordinary, and you're going to connect with lots of beautiful individuals too. And in Soul Tribe, I would call it too. And on day 3, I'm going to host a beautiful quantum magic soul mission quantum magic class, sharing with you what's available for us who are co-creating with the frequencies coming from the crystalline core of earth, with light dragon technologies, like with quantum technologies, for having our missions be amplified in a way that feels like easeful, aligned, fun, intentional, and in a way that is visible for those with resonant frequencies and pretty much becomes invisible to those with non-resonant frequencies. So I am very excited to welcome now the one and only Rubia Lacerda into the stage. Yay! Hello. Yes. How are you? It is such a pleasure and honor to have you here. Thank you for saying yes to the invitation.
Likewise, Marga, it's so amazing to be here. I'm so excited to be chatting to you and being part of your incredible series.
Oh my goodness. And you are an authority on this. You're one of the people who have for years spoke about this type of ancestral programming online. You have so much embodied experience. You are, I called you Starseed Authority because you help so many star beings around the planet. And so I was really looking forward to this conversation because through the whole series, um, there have been so many beautiful quotes being shared. As you know, I have a few questions, but the truth of the matter is that this is a channel space also. And so your perspective, I feel that is going to be so appreciated by our viewers. And to start with, my love, I would love to ask you if you could share with us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and who your work is for.
Amazing, Maga. Thank you. Um, my name is Rubia Lacerda, and I'm a channeler, ascension mentor, and quantum healer. And I'm also a trance channel of the Arcturians, and I connect with multiple galactic civilizations such as Pleiadians, Syrians, Lyrans, and I'm here to support beautiful mission souls, heart-led entrepreneurs, and those who are here to support the ascension of humanity at the highest. So showing up, fully walking the path of their soul mission, whatever it is that their soul mission is. It may be channeling, or it may be singing, it may be dancing, it may be a DJ, and truly bringing their soul and really supporting them to get to the DNA, to the root cause of whatever is stopping them or blocking them from walking their soul's path. Because a lot of people have this perception that you should be a channeler or a mentor or a spiritual guide in order to to be supporting humanity, when the reality is channeling means channeling your art. So I support beautiful souls to to channel their art, whatever their art may be.
I love this. And I also want to add that, at the beginning of my own journey, stepping into my soul magic, Rubia was my trusted guide. Yeah, like when it came to, overcome programming, all these things. So you're such a gifted human to help other people, and the ripple effect is immense. And this is what we're here also to discuss. So, Rubia, like one of the things that um, I've seen and I've noticed is that when it comes to programming, ancestral programming, let's call it programming for a moment, preventing us from stepping into higher levels of visibility and being seen, higher levels of our soul mission and whatnot. There are a lot of these programs that seem to come from Earth incarnations that you have here on planet Earth, where you experience all sorts of things. But I was also so curious to ask you, in your experience, having also worked with lots of individuals that also have star incarnations in other star systems, have you found that some of these programs coming from also incarnations outside of the Earth, or this is mostly imprints that come from lifetimes on Earth?
Great question. It can happen for lives outside of Earth. It's not common though, because the lives outside of Earth are usually more, where we are in higher dimensional realms, where we don't have such dense, dense like bodies and dense experiences and realities. So as we have these lifetimes here on Earth, you see there's a lot of things that have happened on the Earth, and even like in certain realms of the Earth right now are still happening that are quite dense. So those create an imprint in our DNA. Some people will say that you can have some imprints in your DNA from lives outside of Earth. I believe that what happens, as a galactic life, for example, as an Arcturian life, for example, for some people, what I have experienced before, with clients, is the memories of lives, as an Arcturian, for example, is so strong that sometimes they find it difficult being here and being really grounded and present here, because they can remember, they can feel so strongly their Arcturian life, for example, that they like this, you know, it's so different that they don't want to be here. They want to be in that actuarial life. So it can become a little bit confusing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. Okay, well, that's a great thing, great clarification. Thank you so much for sharing, yeah, like what's your take on this. And so, one of the things that you're highly gifted at is activating people's intuitive gifts and channeling abilities. What would you say is the relation between activating and accessing more of these gifts and channeling with your ability of and choice and a decision of daring to be seen?
I love that question. Like, wow. And I believe that when you go so deep into your soul gifts, into the activation of that, that you can feel it. It's such a felt sense experience that you feel it in your heart and you have this divine knowing. Oh my God, I have the ability to activate trance channeling in other people. I have the ability to help people heal their relationships with family members and, you know, with showing up in the world. How could I not dare to be seen? How could I dare to hide? Because if I hold these gifts, there is a reason why I hold them. And as I share them with humanity, I know on such a deep level that the ascension of humanity and the betterment of humanity comes from an individual effort and a collective effort. And the individual effort is me showing up and sharing my gifts. So when I dared to be seen and I dared not to hide was when I I realized that I am such an important piece in the ascension of humanity. And for some people, for a long time, I couldn't even say these words out loud because I didn't want to sound arrogant. But now imagine that if all beautiful souls that are not daring to be seen and are hiding, how much that's slowing down the ascension of humanity. And I know that that can sound quite charged, but it is up to us to support the ascension of humanity. So that meant that I no longer made it about me. The moment that I made it about supporting humanity at the highest, my fear of being judged, of being called crazy and psychosis, schizophrenia, whatever it is, because I trans channel, all walked out the door. And then the synchronicities that happened were wild, like calling my family in Brazil, letting my mother know I've come out of the galactic closet, you know, with fear of what she would say, and she supported me. And most recently, my father, who is 80 years old, you know, 5 years later, after I've come out of the galactic closet, he said, of course, he uses the word ET. I don't like ET, extraterrestrials. He said, of course, ETs are real. We cannot be the only ones in the entire universe. So it's like I dared to walk this path, and others that didn't walk with me before are now walking with me because it's making sense to them.
I love that. I love that. And it really touches on something. This morning I had another interview for episode 7, and right at the end, we were touching on and talking about how there's also this fear, like part of these holdbacks, let's call them. It's the fear of you're gonna end up alone, living alone, like I'm gonna die alone. Even it can, like when you really trace the echoes of the voice, it can really, like that can be like the voice that can come out, like I'm gonna die alone. And potentially that's something that happened. And yet, what I have witnessed is that actually there is something magical, as you were sharing. The synchronicities, like the specific type of magic, like there are gifts on the other side of daring to be seen, of saying yes to what you know deep in your bones. that you came here for. What would you say about this, my love?
Yes, and there is a very cautious fear, the fear of dying and the fear of being alone and the fear of dying. And it's also a very primal and ancestral fear. Because if you think about like in a tribe, you know, if you separate, if you're in the middle of the jungle or in the desert and you separate from the tribe, there's higher chances of you being eaten by a wild animal. Right. So we have that inherent belief that if I am different, if I am separate from my tribe, if I start talking about ETs on the internet and that I channel them, that I talk to them, it's like I'm going to be rejected out of my community. I'm not going to be loved and accepted, which means that I'll be alone, which means that I will die. So it's also like this. It's like that animal belief, you know, I need to fit in so I can survive. And that's very deep for a lot of people because we have that on a conscious level, but on an unconscious level, it's so deep, so deep that then someone that is trying to put their mission out into the world, then all this stuff happens in their reality. Like, oh, I've been trying to put my mission into the world, but then I had a baby, then someone in the family passed away, then there's always other priorities. But what is happening is on an unconscious level, they are co-creating chaos and drama, or they're using things as an excuse not to show up. Because some people say, well, but for me it's different because I have insert, you know, excuse here that is catering for these deep unconscious beliefs that are held on a DNA level, right? And what I want to share that as I worked through these beliefs and I showed up anyway, because it wasn't easy. There were moments that I'm literally posting something on social media that I felt like I always joke that I needed a bucket so that I could vomit because I was so nervous, but I still press post and send. And what has happened as a result of me showing up, the people that I have met, wow, like the friendships that I have, the online community that I have, it's like the most incredible, beautiful souls. And because I have been doing deep unconscious work, reprogramming my DNA, because we are all connected, my family started receiving healings. And my relationship with my family, including with members that I never spoke, that I never had a lot of relationship with, has been the best it has ever been. So it's actually healed my life. And there is no other way. There may be some chaos at the start. At the start, my father's like, you need to have a 9 to 5 job. You can't leave a job. And he was insistent that I continue staying in a job that I couldn't anymore because it was like draining my soul. So at the start, he had some resistance because he's very traditional. So you need to be in a job. And you know, South American people, like they're very like because I'm Brazilian, so they have a lot of opinions about your life. They'll be very involved in your life. And then eventually he asked me, how are you going, how is your retreat, how's everything? So it's like I walked even when it was difficult, even when it was judgment, and there's still judgment. And if there is judgment, what I realize now, and this is so important, this changed my life, is to know that what I share with the world is a gift. Some people, they will receive the gift and they will open the gift, which means you, Marga, you have received the gifts that I am and the gifts that I share, right? Now, someone that takes the time to go on my post and put like a negative comment or a judgmental comment, they receive the gift as well, but they didn't unwrap it. And then they project it as, you know, negative comment, judgment, and hate. So now I am able to observe when there is a comment, there is someone that it's not, you know, that judges me, and I'm able to observe it. They just didn't unwrap the gift and I move on. And I feel this is so important for so many mission souls to know that you cannot completely protect yourself, especially if you're doing something that's really out of the box. So I say protect yourself, not receiving these types of comments, but you can understand that you're being a gift and giving them an opportunity to be triggered, and then they can do whatever it is that they wish with that.
I love that. Wow, whew, so beautiful and such a beautiful reflection. And it's like, I feel that like this is like our own breakthrough as we birth ourselves and manifest our becoming and the person we become. That is like at the beginning it can really much feel like a lonely path. It can really be, you know, like you and your emotions and your mental patterns and your thoughts, and it's like the me, right? And so the scenarios in those moments are not the most positive ones. And we only know what we know. And of course, there's also, like, as you were sharing before, the conditioning by our own primal human who seeks for survival, safety, all these things. But then as we but then as we progress in this journey and say yes to more of who we are, who we came here to be, it's like the magic of what you just shared, which is like, actually there is more connection. Actually, I embody more love, and my family somehow is receiving the ripple effect. Actually, I connect with other humans. And the most important that I feel that is like the top of the top. It's like you can play the, playing small and playing safe. But one very signature thing for mission souls is that this calling is not gonna go, is not gonna go away. So you will always have this feeling of, I am meant to be someone different. I am meant to become, to experience a different reality. I am meant to do something different. And this is also why I love, like, bringing these conversations forward, because this is not an isolated journey, but I feel that it's like we will be able to see that it is not an isolated journey, in the capacity that we are able to be courageous and meet ourselves and saying yes, even if, yes, you shit your pants a little bit and you vomited before posting the post, but it's like, what's on the other side? It's incredible. And it's like, but you only get to access there by being courageous. And please, Queen Fire, Brazilian Queen, Black Panther Queen, like, talk to us about being courageous and staying courageous, because I know these are some of your very much embodied codes.
Yes, I love that, courageous, because a lot of people are waiting to be confident, and confidence was one of the things that I didn't have a lot, but I had a lot of courage, and I courageously showed up even when I wasn't feeling confident, and also because I wasn't making it about myself. And the courage really came when things got tough, because yes, I came out of the galactic closet, I had beautiful opportunities and mentors and all of the things, and that's when I met you, Maga. And then things were a little bit wobbly as I was calibrating to this new way of being. So you imagine, for like over a decade working in 9 to 5 jobs, then all of a sudden, like, oh, now I can do this. And then I felt guilty, and I felt like something's wrong with me, and I was being lazy. There were so many programmings that I had to work through, and some of them took months. There's a couple of them that took years, and we're always working on ourselves. There's always like the layers of the onions that it's always being peeled. And the courage really is about keep showing up. I say this to my beautiful clients. The most important thing is that you don't give up, because I see so many people giving up. They put one post and they advertise their program once and no one signs up, and then they give up. I'm like, guys, I launched 7 programs during a period of about 18 months to 2 years, and no one ever bought in that period. But what happened is, I knew that every time I launched a program, that program was initiating me to be the person that I was, everything, all the promises in the program, becoming a new earth human. And then life would be like, okay, well, you're saying that you're going to help people become a new earth human. Let's see how you're becoming a new earth human. Let's see if you're living in integrity, if you're walking your talk, if you're doing the right thing when no one's watching, if you're looking after your health, so I was being tested by this program. So I didn't give up. I understood that I was being initiated into this next version of me that could then hold space for people. Because the thing is, I didn't have the capacity to hold space for people. This is what a lot of people don't understand as well. And then they give up in less than, some people a year, 12 months or 3 years. And the thing is, keep going. And there is so much noise on the internet nowadays, or someone made a business, had a successful business in 12 months and they became a million. Like, you just have to like laser focus. It's like eyes on the prize and don't get distracted by all the noise, because there's a lot of noise. And in this devotion to my mission, this devotion to being seen and to showing up, I started listening to my intuition a lot more. And there's a story that I love where there was one day I had a list of 20 things that I had to do on my to-do list. Some things had been there for like 3 months, and my intuition said, put that aside and contact these two people about podcast opportunity. I was like, oh, I don't want to bother these people. And, all these mind chatter started coming up. And my intuition was like, no, just do it now. So I've contacted these people. And long story short, what ended up happening as a result of me being in a couple of smaller podcasts, then a huge podcast literally landed on my inbox, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Matthias De Stefano, Bashar, all of these people have been on that podcast, and this person is inviting me to be on their podcast, Transgender Actors. I was a bit like, huh? Yeah, of course. And when I went on the podcast, he said to me behind the scenes, your life will never be the same. Are you ready? And I said, I was born ready. And
Mic drop. And so much.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I love that. And it's like, I feel that this really ties up into when we're just sharing a moment ago, which is like the feel that opens up as a result of staying courageous, as a result of choosing to follow your to well, choosing devotion, choosing to follow what you set yourself for, and that you were gonna do. Like, it's like, and because I witnessed it in so many incredible beings in our community, clients, former clients. This story I remember so well, because that was like after we worked together. And it's like one of those gifts is to be able to discern. It's almost like you start connecting with your higher mind, and you start to like train the muscle of acting faster. So where before you would entertain whatever excuses you were sharing before, this time it's like more magic, the right guidance, the aligned action, and the next thing you know, like everything can shift in an instant, and that's also what's available.
yes. And that's what the quantum leaps. Some things will happen like that. But that podcast invitation, which then I got invited again later on the next year. And then now when I had other incredible podcast opportunities because of that one, because it gave me a lot of credibility, right? And sounds like it came really easy. It did come really easy, but it only came because I courageously walked through the fire when things were not easy, and because I never gave up. And yes, I remember it was around the time that you and I working together. It was just a couple of months after I had worked with you, and that was like so incredibly helpful, because you really helped me connect with the soul of my mission and why I was here and why I do what I do, and be truly deeply connected. Because what can happen, and having a mentor, it's like, oh my God, it's like, I can't say there's no easy path. This whole 5.5 years, I've had mentors the whole time. Maybe I've gone a couple of months without it, but I've had people there by my side showing me what I don't know that I don't know, and excuse my swearing, but also pointing out to me my bullshit when I wanted to, when I became really wobble and when I had excuses. I think there was a time that I spoke with you. I remember now. I remember exactly. I was at the airport. Marga, that's it. I'm giving up. Marga, that's it. If you remember that. Yeah, because doing a mission business and then doing it as a business and getting over all the BS about being spiritual and receiving money for it, Oh my goodness, that's one of the hardest ones because it's been so ingrained and programmed in us that you can't do that.
Yes, and it's like what you were sharing before is like, oh, it looks like so easy, and it happened like so fast, and the quantum leap, but that's the message. But the people don't see who we had to choose to be in order to be a match, a true match for the quantum leap frequency. And I love that you know, like your beautiful humbleness, which I love so much about you. You know, like the there's so many beautiful qualities about you, but that you share also that very human and vulnerable moment of this is it, F this, no, like I'm quitting, right? And it's like, and also I do want to rescue because I have witnessed this moment with other incredible clients who are now soaring in their mission, which is like normally, like it is so common that before a big breakthrough there is just like this breakdown. But so in those moments it's like, and you know, like we know this, I know this is deeply ingrained for both of us, you share this message also, like those are the moments of truth where you get to ask yourself, well, okay, but am I really gonna quit? And because the answer is no, then it's like you get to muster up the courage and connect with other those aspects of you who are your mission selves, your higher selves embodied in your mission that do know, okay, yeah, there's just so much abundance on the other side, so much available.
Yes. Yeah, and I had one of those moments not long ago because I'm running a Starseed Retreat. Forgot to tell about the Starseed Retreat in Bali in less than a month. And because I really want to bring the community together in physical, because there's so much happening online, let's do things in physical form as well. And yes, I had a moment where I was like, oh my God, because everything that you birth into the world, you go through an initiation. All your programs, all your retreats, all your offerings, they initiate you to make sure that you're walking that program, that you're offering that with integrity. And as Starseed was launched into the world, I started seeing like parts of my shadow that I was aware of and like scarcity programming and things. I was like, oh my goodness. And I remember the thought popped into my mind, oh, maybe I could just give this up and I'll go ahead with it. And as I tune in with myself, would I actually do that? And I felt so deep inside of my heart, no way. I am never giving up. No matter how hard it gets, I am not giving up. This is it. So I love that I was given the opportunity, the contrast of going through a tough day where I thought about giving up. And then when I tuned in, it was a no. So it gives me this level of certainty about this mission. And I know that I'm being so guided and supported, even when it doesn't seem like it.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing that human moment. And yes, before we finish, I want that you share a little bit more about the retreat. So um to start wrapping up, you know, so much about this series is about what's on the other side of daring to be seen. So, Rubia Lacerda, the one and only, tell us what's on the other side of daring to be seen.
It's a beautiful life. It's the life that you're calling in. It's having time and freedom to be, do, and have whatever it is that your soul wishes to, that your human wishes to. So for me, it's having time to show up online and do what I absolutely love the most is to gather humans from all over the world to come and meet in Bali and have a retreat called Starseed on my birthday. And we're having a birthday party. Because if I'm doing a retreat, why am I not doing it on my birthday? Of course, I'm doing it on my birthday. It's the ability to travel to Brazil to visit my family when I want it. And it's the ability to travel like to Europe last year while I was running my signature program, Ascension Codex. And every 2 weeks, I show up for 2 hours for my group. And I'm supporting them online while I'm going to see beautiful sacred sites around Europe. It's meeting the most beautiful, incredible, soul aligned humans that I have the honor to call friends, like you, dear Marga. So it's so worthwhile, so worthwhile.
I love that. Thank you so, so much. Oh, I love you. I love this. And I appreciate you, sharing the abundance, the connection, the light, the love that's on the other side. And to close today's interview, Rubia, please share with us a little bit about Starseed Bali Retreat.
Yes. So Starseed was actually downloaded. It came through to me. When it came through, I'm like, I'm not doing an international retreat. Like, I like a peaceful life. That sounds stressful. And then it wouldn't leave me. It would stay there. I know someone that's a retreat organizer said contact her. She had full body goosebumps when I'm telling her about. And I was sitting right outside my veranda, which is there one day just before I paid her, which is like, you fully commit, you make that payment, you fully commit. Oh my God, we're going through with this. And I look, there's a bush over there. It's just all green and trees. And I never saw this before. I've been living here for 5 years. One deer walked past, and then another one, and then another one, then another. 4 deers walk. I've never seen them before. And I'm Googling it's beautiful, incredible purity and spiritual sign. So I said yes to it, and I started to receive the downloads that it's about activating our crystalline nervous system, which is the nervous system of the new earth human, so that we can hold more and connecting with our cosmic blueprint and getting very clear in our soul mission, what we are here to share with humanity. And we're going to have temple. We're going to a waterfall and receiving beautiful healings from a local incredible healer, and there's going to be a lot of magic. So I talk about being a bridge from the third dimensional realm to fifth dimensional and beyond. And I truly believe into the sanction into the ego and the human being so that we can then ascend. And that's what we're going to be doing at the retreat with our galactic shamanic breath work. We have a beautiful breathwork facilitator, and people say that the galactic shamanic activations is like being on ayahuasca journey without taking ayahuasca. So, ta-da! So yes, and we have beautiful, incredible souls from all over the world coming, and I'm so, so, so excited, so excited.
And I love that you are sharing that you are hosting this retreat. I mean, first of all, like receiving from someone like you who have gone through a very series of initiations with respect to the nervous system and holding more while staying grounded, being highly galactic, while also being a freaking human. I think that that's a huge gift in itself. But then there's also something to be said about stepping out of the comfort zone of everything online and just like being in the presence of other humans. Like you never know the connections that you're going to create there, the soul family that you're going to reconnect with, the moments of meeting other parts of yourself, and also doing it in such a nourishing, great like Bali. I mean, I can't go. I can make it to Starseed Retreat. I need to be here in Mexico and in Costa Rica. But to everyone listening to this, like, what are you doing? Like, is it this opportunities, in person opportunities, change you forever? So thank you
Yes.
so much for sharing about this retreat. And if people wanted to learn more about the retreat or other offerings, what would be the best way to do this?
Best ways to message me on Instagram, my website. You can go through my website and email, but Instagram or Facebook, like any messaging or email through the website. There's a contact page on my website as well.
Beautiful. Well, Rubia, thank you so much for being here today, sharing your wisdom, your embodiment, your beautiful codes, your projects. And yeah, so I'm sending you so much love and so much appreciation for
Thank
being
you for
here today.
having me, Maga. It was a pleasure.
Welcome. Oh,
Yes.
for everyone listening to this ending of this beautiful interview, remember to check out the Born to Be Seen beautiful free event. It's an offering for our community where it's all of these codes plus so much more. So see you then and there, and see you for future episodes of Dare to Be Seen. Thank you, and bye bye.
Mwah.
Thank you, Sandy.